Hello student, today we are going to study NCERT class 9th Geography chapter 2 Physical Features of India. In the previous two videos we have covered lots of topics like we come to know about how in the earth the divisional features or you can say the geographic features have emerged by the earthquake, by the volcanic activities, by the like the boundary, the divergent boundary, the convergent boundaries, and all of the boundaries by the tectonic plates, we can say, in the other words we can say the tectonic plates by which it used to emerge the physical features of the this particular planet Earth, where we find the somewhere we find the mountains, somewhere we find the plateau, somewhere we find the barren land, somewhere we find the desert, somewhere we find the river, the oceans. So how this physical feature take place by the you can say the earthquake, by the volcanic activities. Then we go come to further. Then we come to know about the Gondwana land, which is the you can say the oldest landmass of the world, where these are the countries just like the South America, South Africa, India, Australia, and the Antarctica. It earlier it was the part of the particular landmass. Then later on, when the earthquake took place, when the tectonic plates and this boundary took place, so it used to change in the different countries and in the different continents. So we come to know about that. Then we slowly and gradually, then we if we read out the further, then we come to know about the different mountains, or you can say the northern Himalayan, in which we come to know about that it is starts from the north towards the northeast, where they from the glacier the number of the rivers used to emerge, and in that the number of the sediments, you can see the rock or the pebbles, they used to come eroded with that, and used to deposit at the one place and used to make the delta. They have to give the different names: Khadar, Bhangar, then Bhavar. These are the names which they given. Like on the basis of the where the river used to flow, they used to give the regional name. If we talk about the Himachal Himalayas, we talk about the Assam Himalayas, then we talk about the Nepal Himalayas. Then we further discussed about there are the eight major, or you can say the highest peak of the world, which you can see eight in the Nepal, and the rest of them in the India. So like all over the world, they are the highest peaks. But if we talk about the most of the highest peak, that is in the Nepal, it starts from the Mount Everest, then it's the Kanchenjunga. Then we go later on. We come to know about the northern plains. In the northern plains, what we have discussed that the northern plains where the river like Ganga and the Brahmaputra, they used to make the majorly the northern plains by which they used to come from the Himalayas, and by which they used to come with the sediments, and they used to make the land very much fertile. And when this river used to divided into different tributaries, or you can see the channels, and by which they used to take number of the sediments with them, and they used to make at the different places. So since these are the certain things which we have discussed in the previous two videos. Now in this third videos, which what we have to cover today, that is the Peninsula Plateau, the Indian Desert, the coastal plains, and the islands. So let's start this. Start from the page number 13, that is the Peninsula Plateau. Now you're thinking that where the Peninsula Plateau is towards starts from your South India. The Peninsula Plateau is the table and composite of old crystalline, and the name of this, like you can say the rock, or you can see the rock or the pebbles, igneous than the metamorphic rock. It was the form due to the breaking or drifting of the Gondwana land, and thus making part of the oldest landmass. Yes, which we have already discussed. The Gondwana land is the oldest landmass of this planet, and when the breaking of that, we find the igneous rock, metamorphic rock, and the plateau has broad and the shallow valley and the rounded hills. This plateau consists of two divisions, namely the Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. If we talk about the South India, you can see the Deccan Plateau, where here you will find the Deccan Plateau in the South India, this side. So this side you will find the Deccan Plateau. The part of the Peninsula Plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River. It's lying to the north of the Narmada River rivers from the Madhya Pradesh. And towards the north, you will find the Deccan Plateau. The part of the Peninsula Plateau lying north of the Narmada, covering the major area of Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highland. It's known as the Central Highland. The Vindhya range is bounded by the Satpura ranges on the south of the Aravallis and the northwest. If we talk about the northwest, so this is the northwest. The further westward extension gradually emerged with the sandy rock desert of the Rajasthan. So the flow of the rivers draining the region, namely the Chambal and the Sindh, the Betwa, the Ken, from the southwest to the northeast. If we talk about the southwest, this is the southwest toward the northeast. Thus indicate this slope. The central highlands are wider in the west but narrower in the east. The eastward extension of this plateau are locally known as the Bundelkhand or Bengal Khand. Now to give where the Bundelkhand is in the on the border of the MP and the UP, and the Chota Nagpur plateau makes the further eastward extension drained by the Damodar River. The Deccan plateau is the triangular axis. So this is in the triangular in the shape, lies from the south of the river Narmada. So you can see this is in triangular shape. The Satpura range flex its base in the north while the Mahadev, the Kemur hills and the Mekal range from the eastern extension. Locate these hills and the ranges in the physical map of the India. The Deccan plateau is higher on the blessed slope gently eastwards. And the extension of the plateau is also visible in the northeast, the locally known as the Meghalaya, Karbi, Anglo Plateau, and the North Catcher Hills. It is the separated by a fault from the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Three prominent hill ranges from the west to east and are the Garo, Khasi, and the Jaintia Hills. If we talk about the northeastern, that the Garo, Khasi, Jaintia Hills, you will find in the Meghalaya, the western Ghat in the west direction, and if you talk about the eastern Ghat in the eastern direction, where the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively, western Ghat lie parallel to the western coast. Here it is towards the parallel to the western coast. So this is our western coast. It means west की तरफ का समुद्री किनारा. Western Ghats lie by the western coasts. There are the continuous can be crossed through the passes only. Locate the Thal, Bhor, and Pal Ghats in the physical map of the India. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. So these are the Western Ghats which are the higher than the Eastern Ghats. Then we talk about the further. The Western Ghats lies parallel to the Western Ghats, which I already explained that the Western Ghats is towards the parallel to the Western coast. The average elevation is 900, 600 meter as against the 600 meter of the Eastern Ghat. The Eastern Ghat stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. The Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and dissect by the river drainaging into the Bay of Bengal. So whatever the river they have, they used to drainage towards this in the Bay of Bengal, or in the other words, you can say the most of the river when they starts emergence from the emergence starts from the India, then they used to go towards the Bangladesh, or you can say in the some part of the state. If they talk about the southern India, then used to mix with the Bay of Bengal. The Western Ghats caused the orography rain by facing the rain bearing most wind to rise along with the western slope of the Ghats. The Western Ghats are known by the different local names. Yes, that is true that the Western Ghats is when the local people of that particular region they used to call the Western Ghats with the different names. The highest western Ghat progressively increase the north to the south. The highest peaks include the Anaimundi. If you think where the Anaimundi is in the Kerala, which is the highest peak of the Kerala. Then we talk about the Doda Beta, then the Mahendragiri is the highest in the eastern Ghats. Several hills, Javadi hills are located in the southeast of the eastern Ghat. So they were in the southeast, they are in the southeast, or you can say the southeastern Ghats. Several hills, Javed hills are located to the southeast of the southeastern Ghat. Locate the famous hill station of Udgamangalam, popularly known as Uti or the Kodai Canal, which you have the idea of the Uti and the Kodai Canal. One of the distinct feature of the Peninsular Plateau is the black soil are known as the Deccan Trap. If we talk about the Peninsular Plateau, the color of the Deccan Plateau is the mostly the black in color, and it's used as the name is specified as the Deccan Trap. This is the volcanic origin. Like earlier, there were the times the scientists thought that this are the region of the volcanic activities, that volcanic, hence the rocks are igneous. Actually, these rocks have during over the time are responsible for the formation of wells. Because after the number of days, or you can say after the number of years, when this lava used to be cooled down, then it become a, you can say the rock. Then later on it become the soil. So it is mostly the black in color. The Aravalli Hills lies on the western and the northern west margins of the Peninsula Plateau. These are highly eroded the hills and the founds are broken hills. Means that mostly we find the rocks in the eroded hills and found in the broken hills. The extension of the Gujarat and Delhi is the southwest and the northeast direction. If we talk about the southwest, so this is the south direction, is this west one, and the northeast, so this is the northeast direction. Now come towards the next topic of this chapter, that is the Indian desert. We find most of the desert in the two states, that is the Gujarat and the Rajasthan. So Rajasthan we find the, you can, the largest desert, that is the Thar desert we find in Rajasthan, and we find the other desert in the, we can say the Gujarat, that is the Kutch, where you find the white desert. So that is the white desert. It is of the salt. Now we come go further there. The Indian desert lies towards the western margin of the Aravalli Hills. So this side of Rajasthan, there is the Aravalli Hills. It is an undulating sandy plains covered with the sand dunes. Now you thought that what the sand dune is. If you ever visited any of the desert region, you will find the desert over here. So you will find this kind of a structure of this sand which used to call it as sand dunes. अगर आप कभी भी किसी रेगिस्तानी इलाके में गए हो या फिर डेजर्ट में गए हो तो आपको इस तरह से मिट्टी के बने छोटे छोटे, जिसको टीले कहा जाता है, वो मिलेंगे. इसको इंग्लिश में कहा जाता है सैंड ड्यून्स. This region receive very low rainfall, that is 150 mm per year. It has arid climate with a low vegetation cover because due to the low rainfall, they don't find number of, you can say, they don't find the number of the fertile land, and they do not grow the different types of the crops. Streams appear during the rainy season. Soon after they disappear into the sandy earth. Soon after the disappear into sandy earth, they do not have enough water to reach the sea. Luni is the only large river in the region. So only the Luni river in the this region has the largest. The Barachans, the crest-shaped dunes cover the large area, but longitudinal dunes become the maroon formateur near the Pakistan and in India border, Indo-Pakistan border. If you visit Jaisalmer, you will go to see this branches. Yes, that is true that if you go in Rajasthan, in the Jaisalmer, you will find the sand dunes nearby the border of Indo and the Pakistan, where you can see like the how the tourists used to come over there, like the number of the foreigners, or you can say the number of the foreign tourists, they used to come towards the India to see these sand dunes and how the people of Rajasthan live over there. And there are the number of the history behind that. Like earlier, the people how they used to live in this desert area, and now they how they used to live. So this place is very nice. If you want to visit, you can visit, and it's a very nice place. Now we come towards the third topic of this chapter, that is the coastal plains. The coastal plains, you have the area that is the coast where we have our sea and the ocean, यानी एक समुद्री किनारा. The peninsula is flanked by the stretch of narrow coastline strip. This is the narrow coastline strip running along with the Arabian Sea. This is the Arabian Sea towards the west, and the Bay of Bengal towards the east, and in the extreme south we find the Indian Ocean. The western coast and sandwiched between the western Ghats. This is the western Ghat, and the Arabian Sea is the narrow plain. It consists of three sections. Northwest coast is called as Konkan, and this Mumbai Goa one, that is called the Konkan. Central stretch used to call it Kannada Plains, and while the southern west stretch is referred to as the Malabar coast. You can see this coastal plain picture where the people used to do the different kinds of, you can see the agriculture over there. The plains along with the Bay of Bengal are wide and the level. Yes, towards the Bay of Bengal they are wide and the level. If these are the Bay of Bengal, it is referred to as the northern Sarkars, while the southern part is known as the Coromandel coast. Large rivers such as Mahanadi, that is Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri have formed the extensive delta on the coast. Like Chilka is the important feature on the eastern coast. Now you are thinking that where the Chilka Lake is. Chilka Lake is in the state of Orissa. Earlier it was the yes, nowadays also I think earlier also it is the you can say the biggest or the highest, using the word the biggest, you can say the lake in the Asia. It is the biggest lake in the Asia. This is the Chilka Lake that is in the Orissa, which is the salt lake. It is an important feature towards the eastern coast. So our Orissa is this part. This part, you will find that there is a Chilka Lake. The local people used to say earlier it was the, they used to say that the world highest, but it's not. It's of the Asian highest. Now we talk Chilka Lake is the largest salt lake in India. It lies in the state of Orissa and the south of Manali Delta. Earlier it was the Asian highest, but now it is of the Indian highest, where you find it's a salt lake where the it is in the Orissa. Now come towards the last topic of this chapter, that is the islands. You have already seen that India has a vast mainland. Beside this, the country has two group of islands. Can you identify this island of groups? Yes, we can easily identify that is Lakshadweep and the Andaman and Nicobar. Look at the Lakshadweep island group lying close to the Malabar coast, that is the Kerala. This group of island composed of small corals island. You have read the corals in the class 7 what the coral is. Earlier they were known as the Lakadev, Minicoy and the Amandev. Earlier it was used to call it as the Lakadev, Minicoy Amandev. In 1973, this were named as Lakshadweep. So you have to keep this thing in mind. Earlier it was called as Lakadev and the Amandev, but in the 1973 they changed this name and used to put it as the Lakshadweep. It covers the area of only 32 square kilometer. Uh, Kavariti Island is the administrative headquarters of the Lakshadweep. The island group has great diversity of flora and fauna. The Piti Island, which is uninhabited, has a bird sanctuary. They have the bird sanctuary. Now there are the corals. Corals polyps are the short-lived microscopic organism, like very small organism which live in a colonies, means they used to live in a group. They flourish and swallow the mud free and the warm waters. They used to like flourish in the mud free where there is no mud, यानी कोई गंदा पानी होता है उसमें, and the warm waters यानी गर्म पानी में they secrete the calcium carbonate. So they used to secrete the calcium carbonate. The coral secretion, the skeleton form, the coral deposit in the form of reefs. Then after the death, the skeleton, what they deposit in the coral reef, they are mainly in the three kinds, that is the barrier reef, fringe reef, and Arctotus. The Great Barrier Reef and the Australia is the good example of the first kind of the coastal coral reefs. Atolls are the circular or the horseshoe shaped coral reefs. If you have seen in your textbook or in the GK or textbook, you will find the horse coral reefs. Now you see the elongated extent of the island located in the Bay of Bengal and towards this side, north to the south, this Andaman and Nicobar island, they are the bigger in size, are more numerous and scattered, means they are bigger in size and more numerous and scattered. This entire group of islands divided into two broad categories, the Andaman the north and the Nicobar the south. It is believed that this island are an elevated portion of the submarine mountains, where you find the submarine mountains. This island group are the great strategic importance of the country. There is a great diversity of flora and fauna. You will find the different types of vegetation and different types of forest trees and the plants in the group. This island lies close to the equator. Yes, it is the nearby the equator, because equator is like 2 hours or 3 hours beyond the southern India. This island lies to the equator and experience equatorial climate has the thickest forest cover. So we have the idea which we have read in the 6th, 7th and 8th, that if you recall that in the equatorial region we find different kinds of the forest with the, you can say, varieties of the trees or the varieties of the crops we find over there, like because you can say the direct sunlight, or you can say the heavy rainfall. So you will find the different varieties of the trees and the crops in this region. Then we talk about the detailed account of the different geography units highlights the unique feature of the each region. It would have, however, to clear that each region complement the other makes the country richer in its natural resource. The mountain are the major source of water, forest and well, that is true. The mountain are having the largest source of water and the forest. The northern plains are the graniers of the country. The northern plains are graniers of the country. They provide the base of early civilization. They provide what kind of base of the early civilization? The plateau is a storehouse of the mineral. The plateau is the storehouse of the minerals, which has played a crucial role in the industry of the country. Yes, that is true that the plateau has a store of the minerals, which has played a crucial role in the industry of the country. The coastal region, the island group provide sites of fishing, ports, and activities. Thus, this diverse physical feature of the land have immense future possibility for the development. So, like in this chapter, what we have covered, if we talk about how the physical features have emerged, how the geographic features have emerged, why the you can say the natural disaster or the act of the god, or you can say the earthquake, or why the volcanic activities, in which we find that the number of the places where the if we talk about the Gondwana land, which is the oldest landmarks of the India, or sorry, not India, of the world, where we find like the how it used to become the continent in the country. Later on, when the lava used to cool down, then it become the rock. By the rock, it become the sediments. Then it become the soil. On the basis of the when it is black in color, the number of the people think that yes, it maybe or it was the area of the volcanic activities going over there. Then later on we talked about the Himalayas, how the Himalayas have emerged, where we find the different kinds of, you can say, the emergence of the water, and we find the different kinds of the forest and the flora and flora over there. Then we talk about the northern place, because the northern place, the number of the people used to live over there, because in the plain region they find the more facilities rather than the other part of the countries, because they want, they get the fertile land where they can do the agriculture. If you go further, then we talk about the Brahmaputra and the Ganga have the largest northern plains in our India. Then we talk about the Peninsula Plateau, mostly we find in the southern part of the India. In the you can say the different like the Western Ghat, the Eastern Ghat, and the number of the hills. Then later we go to talk about the Indian desert. There's mostly we find in the Rajasthan. That is the place is the Jaisalmer, where you find this place in the Indo-Pakistan border, where you find the sand dunes and the different, or you can say the deserted area where they give the name of the desert, the Royal Desert, the Queen's Desert, like the particular the local, you can say. Tourist operator or the tourist agent, they give the name to the particular lands, and they used to take the tourist over there. Then they can travel, they you come to know that what the forest is, how the forest soil, or you can say the desert soil is such a soft, so the people used to come over here to enjoy the deserted place. And we talk about the coastal plains, so we have the coastal plains towards the west and towards the south. If we talk about the two ocean, two sea and the one ocean, that is the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal, and the southern part is the Indian Ocean. So we find that we have the different flora and flora and the hills we have. Then we talk about the islands. So we have the two islands. That is one is the Lakshadweep and the other one is the Andaman Nicobar. Lakshadweep is a small in you can say area that is only the 32 square kilometers. If we talk about Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south, they are the broad and the wide, and they have we find flora and the different varieties of you can see the plants and the trees and the agriculture over there. And it is nearby the equator, which I already told you about that. It like from the India, the equator is around 2 or 3 hours. It's like the distance of there by the sea route if you go. So it's nearby the equator. Yeah, we are not saying this line. So only the one line is used to, but that is Tropic of Cancer, which is passed from the Gujarat till the northeast. But if we talk about the equator, are there in India? No, equator doesn't pass from the India. It's nearby the India. It used to take 3 to 4 hours. So all the such things which we have discussed in this chapter, that how the physical feature of India have become by the tectonic plates, by the earthquake, and by the volcanic activities. I hope you like this video. Thank you.